Hey bow hunters, Aaron here with the EZV Bow Sight. There's still a few that have seen this here and there and on the range and seen our reviews and all this talk, but how the heck does that work? Well, I'm here to tell you. This is the ABCs of EZV. Stay tuned. EZV is built on stadiometric ranging, which is not new. It's over 130 years old. I just built it into a bow hunting practice. So for over 100 years, our military, our snipers have used stadiometric ranging using a known distance, a known measurement. Men are almost all 6 foot tall. So they can project, if they know that that man is 6 foot tall and this far away he's that tall, they know that's 325 yards away because they know how big he is. I've just done the same thing with the vitals of animals. I just happen to live right down the street from Yellowstone Park, the world's best laboratory in the world for putting this together. And I was studying whitetails, mule deer, antelope, bears, sheep, goat, even cats, elk, a little bit wider, not a big deal. And I averaged all those rib cages. Those animals change vertically quite a bit, some of them. But remarkably, to my surprise, the width of their lungs was pretty constant. So within an inch or two, I averaged them all and I came up with a constant. So follow me here. Here is 3 different deer, the same deer, but 3 different distances away. So with my tripod, I measured and I came up with a spot, a measurement of how wide their vitals were on a deer 20 yards away. Then as they get further away, 30 yards let's say, the vitals get smaller, and I measured how wide their vitals are 30 yards away. Further yet, 40 yards away, gets narrower yet. So now I have that constant. This is how wide they are at those distances. Now here is your traditional pin sight. Okay, these vertical spacings are a custom mathematical formula for your exact bow's trajectory. If you're a 26-inch draw with 62 pounds and this arrow, this is where your 20-yard pin has to be, this is where your 30-yard pin has to be, this is where your 40-yard. But that's a math problem. That is a trajectory curve that I am able to plot on a computer. If this is where it is 20 yards away and that's where it is 30 yards away, I know exactly where it's going to be 40 yards away, 50 yards away, 60 yards away. I can plot those distances, those vertical measurements. If you're shooting a very fast setup, very flat trajectory, those pins will be much closer together because it doesn't rise and fall too much. If you're shooting a slower setup, those pins will be further spaced away. But it's a progression math equation on where it will be at each of those intervals. See where I'm going? So I just took the width of that animal at 20 yards away. I cut a little stick that wide and I just replaced it exactly where your 20-yard pin was. Deer's further away, narrower yet. That's how wide they are 30 yards away. I replaced your next pin down, your 30-yard pin, with that width exactly vertically where it needs to be to match your speed, your trajectory, your exact combination. Not your bow's rating, but your exact bow's needs, okay? That's why we make 14 different size inserts. You'll get a great big array of adjustment with your EZV sight. We make a whole set which doesn't change the widths, okay? At 20 yards, that is how wide those animals are 20 yards away, and that's how wide they are 30 yards away and 40 yards away. But the different inserts move those widths to where your bow needs them. Just math. Where in the trajectory path you need those gaps to match your bow's trajectory. More on that in a minute. Another pin to discard. So now, quite a bit further, 40 yards away, this is how wide their vitals are 40 yards away. Which, by the way, when you put a pin on an animal 40 yards or further, of course, it blocks most of the animal, and now your mind is trying to peek around and center that pin where the open V is magical at that. But back to this, that's how wide they are 40 yards away. So we're going to replace that pin how wide it is 40 yards away. So now you can see it starts to form a V. And it'll match one of the inserts provided in your setup. I promise you, it's just math. Those widths are then, let's look at this one. Those widths will match those tick marks. That's how wide, that's how wide, that's how wide at those exact intervals in the vertical spacing of what your bow needs, forming a V. So what does that do for us? Why do I need all that? Well, there's huge benefits to the open V I'm going to talk about in a second, but now, once you've sighted in, you can always shoot our inserts with those, they're really stadia lines. If you understand stadia lines, I call them tick marks, but that's a 20 yard and a 30 yard and a 40 yard. You can always shoot it as an open pin sight with huge benefits, indestructible. But really the magic happens when you flip that insert around and get rid of those tick marks. Now, when that animal, that hard-earned opportunity is about to unfold, you can see that animal's about to enter your window. Instead of worrying about having the rangefinder ready and dialing in a pin or just drawing and guessing where he is, you can be waiting for him at full draw with that V. That V is now matched the width of the vitals to the trajectory of your bow in a geometric shape. It's a lot of $20 words, doesn't matter. What does it do for you? Now you just draw, and wherever that vital fits in that V, it might fit at 24 yards. That's the exact distance for the shot. Send it, frame it, and claim it. Further away, it'll fit further down in the V. You're going to raise your bow, of course. Where it fits, might fit at 43 yards. Touch it off, you'll center punch. Not within a basketball. I'm talking center punch that mass in a second without a rangefinder. That's how EasyV was built. Just putting the widths with the verticals as we need it for our exact bows. That open V though, I want to touch on what that can do for you. Having that open sight picture so you can see what it is you're trying to hit is incredible. I've always talked on the ranging aspect. That's why I built this. But the reports and the reviews and the calls that I get on a daily basis are just amazing. That target panic melts because the movement of your bow is over here and it's not so perceived where your eye, where your focus is. So it melts target panic away. The anxiety of that pin bobbing melts away. That's incredible. How do you pick the right insert? So simple. All of our inserts, the 20-yard tick mark is in exactly the same spot. So you just gang adjust the sight. It's simple. It's just up, down, left and right, and get the 20 in the right spot. Then shoot 2 arrows at 30. If they're low, go to a slower insert. If they're high, go to a faster insert. And you can just joggle right in and move those groups right in. It'll all fall in 10 minutes. Or most of you are coming from a pin sight that you had. And enclosed in your chart that comes with your sight is the EasyV. These are just math equations, these progressions, just like sight tapes. They're just trajectory curves that are lined up, and they get further and further and further progressively apart. You just take your pin sight that you already have and you just are going to lay it right on the dots. We've got videos on how to size and how to pick the right insert, but one of them will match. I promise you, it's math. So it's so super simple. But let's talk about that for a quick second, because on our first batch of inserts, I just numbered the inserts. Insert number 1, 2, 3, 4. because they were just curve models. And one of them is exactly for you, but it was a difficult understanding on which one, how to choose it, even though the chart makes it so easy. But for those that didn't have a sight whatsoever, brand new bow, whatever, on our new inserts, I gave them a speed designation. I'm not sure that was the right thing to do, but right on the very bottom is a number, 260, 270, 280, and so on. It very well may be the speed if you were to chronograph your bow. You don't need to go find a chronograph across the state to put together your EZV. Like I said, there's another video on just walking it in easy or cloning your old sight. However, don't get hung up on that speed number. It may say 260. You may shoot through the chronograph right at 260. Probably a 260 insert is that math equation, that vertical spacing correct for your bow. But it might not be. And here's why. When I built these trajectory curves, I built them on an example over-the-counter arrow. 5/16 carbon arrow with a blazer vane, fletched 1 degree offset. The more you twist those vanes, the more air it's going to grab, the more it's going to slow down as it goes downrange. Follow me so far? But even the diameter of the arrow, so say all three of these arrows are launching at 280 feet a second. Well, this one's much skinnier, so it's going to have a little less wind drag to slow it down. Even though this arrow launches at 280, the 290 insert might match the trajectory curve, because this one's going, it's leaving at the same speed, but it's not slowing down at the rate of, here's a great big fat arrow. Fatter than the example arrow that I built it on. So this one's going to slow down more than the skinny arrow. So this one may launch at 280. The 270 insert may match where it is at 40, 50, 60 yards. It'll be within 1 of your launch speed. But don't get hung up on that launch speed number. I did that. I put that in there so you had a real good starting point. But it may very well be 1 up or 1 down from that launch speed. So, super easy to put together, huge benefits, deer killing machine. But what that open view does for you is incredible. And I just want to touch on this. I just got a call earlier today, kind of prompted this video, that this guy's really good golfer, really good, top-notch golfer. And golf and archery have a lot of the same mental challenges. But he explained to me, and I'm not a golfer, but he explained to me that 99% of golfers will never get great because they're trying to hit a ball with a stick. That's what I thought the game of golf was. Far from it. Great golfers swing the club to the pin, and the ball is in its way, and it gets carried on. And I went, what are you talking about? He says, if you're looking at the ball, your mind is right here. And now it started to click with me. Bowlers don't look at the ball. They look at the pins that they want to hit. Okay? Anything. Throwing a basketball. You look at where you want that projectile to go. And of course, shooting instinctive archery, we're looking where we want that arrow to go. And we project our mind and our focus and our energy to that location. And that's where it goes. If I say, don't think about pink elephants, you're thinking about pink elephants. If you're swinging a golf club thinking, I got to keep my elbow up high, your mind is here. It's not here or down there where all this needs to move to. So the open V is amazing in this, that if you would put a pin, like we've always done, put a pin between you and where you want that arrow to go, your mind is right here. It's not down there. So now when you open that V, your mind, your focus, your energy is downrange, and you're able to focus on that spot and send it. I'm Aaron with EZV. Thanks for listening and good hunting.